Who'd have thought we'd be in week 6 of the 2014 high school football season, and William Byrd's still looking for their first win. They're hosting Stanton River tonight, who's also looking for their first win on the year. These two teams have played pretty well. They've been in close games. They just can't seem to quite pull it out. But something would have to give tonight. That's right, Appy. You know, William Fleming, they've been having a great defensive start so far. They've actually outscored opponents 105-7 before this week. It's only allowing 1 touchdown in 2 games. But they have not seen an offense yet like the one EC Glass brought to town. Well, you're absolutely right, Appy. The Titans have been on a roll. They actually haven't lost a game since August. That's doing pretty good. Tonight, they look to keep that streak alive against the Cougars of Pulaski. Coming into the year, a lot of people expected Lord Botetourt running back Chris Thompson to be a focal point of this team, which he has been, averaging over 200 yards a game. However, he's gotten a lot of help from his defense. Through 4 games, they've only allowed 16 points and have had 3 shutouts. Tonight, they're tasked with maintaining Allegheny's aerial attack. It looked like the offensive and defensive lines for the Spartans were just gassed. It'll be interesting to see if they can do the same thing against William Fleming tonight. Well, the Northside Vikings return home tonight after their first loss on the season last week in overtime at Lord Botetourt. Tonight, the 1-loss William Byrd Terriers come to town. We're here in Greensboro for ACC football kickoff. Obviously, some big storylines here. Logan Thomas returning for his senior season. How's he going to fit in Scott Leffler's new offense? And also the addition of 2 new teams to the conference, Pitt and Syracuse. Salem coming in tonight undefeated, playing at a very high level mid-season. They're already in postseason form. They're actually averaging just under 45 points a game this year, and they've only allowed 1 team more than 7 points all year. And it's homecoming in Salem, but the Spartans look focused and ready for football. First offensive play for Salem, and quarterback Austin Cowling hits Devontae Womack on the screen, makes a great move to make the defender miss, then turns it upfield for a gain of 25. Second play from scrimmage, Cowling drops back and finds tight end Cody Paraguay wide open on the crossing route. He gets Salem inside the red zone. Third offensive play, Coleman Fox gets the handoff, cuts back, gets into the end zone untouched. 7-0 Spartans. Blacksburg with the ball now, and Salem's defense is swarming. That's Kirkland Smith getting to quarterback Isaac Johnston for the sack. The Bruins are forced to punt. Spartans' 4th offensive play now. Cowling going for the home run ball. Isaiah Parker with a great hands catch in the end zone puts the Spartans up 14-0. Salem back on defense, and it's the secondary making plays now. Devontae Womack breaking up this pass attempt. Bruins forced to punt yet again. Now Salem's 5th offensive play from scrimmage, and the reason this is important is Salem scored touchdowns on 3 of its first 5 offensive plays. This time it's Alex Ramsey. He goes 55 yards, put the Spartans up 21-0. That is offensive efficiency at its finest. Bruins trying to get something going. This is Isaac Johnston finding Mike Vick for a nice gain. Helmet comes off there, so the play's blown dead. Tack on an extra 15 yards for a face mask penalty. But that Spartan defense just too much for Blacksburg's offensive line to handle. Kirkland Smith again, he gets his 2nd sack of the half. And when Salem gets the ball back, Coleman Fox gets the rock, makes a cut, and he's off to the races. 65 yards for the score, putting the Spartans up 28-0. And Salem would roll in this one. They went on to win it 58-17. Coach Magenbauer has the Spartans playing at a high level again. No surprise there. Appy, back to you.
All right, Grant, and I have to ask, you know, we always focus on the skill position players and all the touchdowns, but it looks like their line play is just dominant because their running backs aren't being touched running through there.
Well, you know, they absolutely are dominant. And interesting point about this one, their starting center was actually out tonight with a leg injury, and it didn't seem to affect their flow at all. You know, there was no leadership issues up front. They still got the right blocks. They got the O-line where they needed to be. And they literally ran over that defensive line tonight. In just 3 weeks, that's 21 days, these Hokies behind me, they'll be hitting the gridiron in Atlanta in the Georgia Dome to play Alabama. Now coming into today, there's still a lot of concerns they're worried about, including the starting left tackle and the running backs. Now the area of concern at left tackle is the youth. They're actually talking about starting a true freshman for the first time under Frank Beamer at left tackle. Obviously a very important position protecting Logan Thomas's blind side.
That position needs to get stronger, get better. You know, starting as a freshman and starting to get a team as good defensively as Alabama, it could be a shock to your system. They need to mature in a hurry.
Left tackle is an important position, and I know I got to beat my man, make sure he doesn't get to the quarterback, and that's what the whole offensive line. All positions are important, but particularly the blind side is important. So I have a lot of pride in getting myself better.
Along with protecting Logan Thomas's blind side, that O-line is also going to be responsible for creating holes for the running game. And right now, that running game is very young.
J.C. Coleman has been impressive. He's a year older, more mature, and I think he's good. And then I think the move with Caleb to tailback, that's going to work out well.
We're both working hard as well as the other running backs. We're just going out there and doing our job, and whatever the coaches say, then that's what we're going to do.
I feel we all work hard in practice every day, and we all get after it, and we all push each other, and we help each other learn. Like JC said, I feel that we should just leave it in the coach's hand, and let's just control the things we can control.
Obviously, that Alabama game's still 3 weeks away, so there's 3 more weeks of practice to improve before that game. In Blacksburg, Grant Hansen, WSLS 10.